A Long Night at Camp Evergreen. Part 2. A Cry for Help.
Hey, you guys! Up to anything fun?
No time to talk, Cami. We're busy.
Busy with what?
Don't worry about it.
We'll tell you later.
Okay.
Hey, do you know if Mrs. Holt is still in her office?
I think so. But why do you need her? Did something happen?
Gee, Cami, you're sure asking a lot of questions when I just told you we don't have time to talk.
You don't need to be snippy with me, Jess. I was just curious.
Sorry, we're not trying to be rude. We really are in a hurry.
I guess you should get going then. But promise you'll tell me what's going on eventually?
Totally. Cross my heart.
Okay. Guess I'll talk to you guys later.
Bye, Cami.
You shouldn't be mean to her, Jess. She's just trying to help.
No. She's trying to get involved in our business. Because she's the head counselor, so she thinks she needs to act like our mom.
I mean, she did say it's her job to handle any problems that happen with us.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure this one is above her pay grade.
That's a fair point, but still, be nice, Jess. We're all stuck together this summer, so we need to get along. And starting things off with a fight won't help us do that.
Fine. I will try my best to be nice.
Mrs. Holt, are you here? We need to talk to you.
She might be out. She is the camp director after all, so I'm sure she's got tons of stuff to do.
Yeah. Like leaving our cabin doors open and forgetting our names.
Oh, well, hello, you three. What brings you here?
We have something serious we need to discuss with you.
Oh, don't tell me. Kenneth and Annette are roughhousing on the water slide again. I swear, I've told them once, I've told them 1,000 times that water slides are for safe, recreational play, not for horseplay.
Yeah, no. This isn't about Kenny and Annie.
It isn't?
No. It's about something else.
Well, in that case, please come in. And take a seat anywhere you want. Oh, would any of you like a cookie? I made them, fresh this morning.
No, thank you. We didn't really come here for that.
I'd like a cookie.
Traitor.
I like cookies, Jess. Sue me.
Here you are, Bennett.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Now, what is it you want to talk about?
We were out for a walk in the woods earlier, and we found this old shack.
Oh, yes. No doubt a structure that the camp abandoned because it was too costly to maintain. But that's nothing to be concerned about, I assure you.
Yeah, she's not done. Let her finish.
It's not the shack we're concerned about, Mrs. Holt. It's what we found inside it that's concerning.
Oh. And what did you find?
This scrapbook.
Scrapbook. Why are you concerned about a scrapbook?
This thing is a huge red flag, Mrs. Holt.
Here, take a look at it.
What is this?
Newspaper articles about counselors being brutally murdered at summer camps.
And look at the back page.
Coming soon. 3 counselors murdered at Camp Evergreen.
See? Huge red flag, right?
No, I don't think so.
I'm sorry. I must have heard you wrong. I could have sworn I heard you say that you don't think this is a red flag.
Yes, you heard me correctly. That is what I said.
Mrs. Holt, you can't be serious.
What about this thing isn't a red flag to you?
Listen, this is not the first time someone's played some kind of foolish prank at summer camp, and regrettably, it won't be the last. It's more macabre than usual, I'll grant you, but it's a prank nonetheless.
How can you say that? Someone's threatening to kill us. You should be taking this seriously.
And what would you have me do about this childish joke?
Have somebody come investigate it? Try to figure out if it was one of your staff who did it? anything other than dismiss it.
Seriously, someone threatening to kill people isn't a joke, Mrs. Holt.
Something like this would get the cops called if it happened at a school.
Well, I'm not a principal. This isn't a school. And I will not be calling the police over a book, a ridiculous book, that someone left in the woods. This is simply not a credible threat.
So you're seriously not going to do anything about this?
No, I'm not. Now please take this book and dispose of it, and rid your minds of any morbid thoughts that will distract you from your jobs.
Oh, sure. We'll get right on that.
I would appreciate that. Now, if you'll excuse me, I need to get back to my work.
Sure. Thanks for your time.
Of course, any time. And I do thank you for bringing this to my attention. It's good to know that at least 3 of my counselors are so diligent.
Yeah, whatever.
Thanks for the cookie.
My pleasure, Bennett.
It's Ben, you frickin' moron. Ugh. God, what a waste of time. At least you got a cookie out of it.
Can't say I'm a big fan of oatmeal raisin.
Ew. So she makes poor choices in life and baking? Ugh. Good to know.
Man, I can't believe Mrs. Holt is just dismissing this book. I mean, it's a death threat to people that work here. How is that not a serious problem?
It is. She just doesn't want to deal with it.
So what now?
Do either of you have a car?
Ben doesn't, but I do.
Can you drive us to town?
You want to take this book to the cops, don't you?
Yeah, I do.
Ballsy move, Mari.
Look, Mrs. Holt might not take this seriously, but I do. I care about my life, so I'm gonna do whatever it takes to keep myself safe. Screw her opinion.
Hell yeah. I'm with you on this, Mari.
Same here. So, let's take my car and head to Blairstown.
Right. Maybe the cops will actually take this seriously.
God, I hope so.
There it is. Blairstown Police Station.
Hey, that spot on the left is free, Jess.
I know how to drive, Ben. Thank you.
If that's true, then what's with your parking job?
My parking job is perfectly fine.
It's crooked.
People with no cars don't get to have opinions on my driving.
What a convenient rule for you.
Isn't it, though?
Come on, you two. Quit bickering and let's get inside.
Oh, hello there. What can I do for you?
Hi, we're counselors over at Camp Evergreen, and we need to talk to somebody about a serious problem.
Well, sure. I'd be glad to help you. Let me get out my notepad here. Now, what are your names?
I'm Mari Jones.
Jess Moraine.
My name's Ben Miller. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you all. I'm Officer Robert Anderson. Now, what seems to be the trouble?
Somebody's made a threat to kill counselors at our camp.
Hey, Sheriff Garris?
What?
Can you come out here for a minute?
I told you not to bother me, Bobby. I'm trying to figure out the clue on this crossword puzzle.
You've got to be kidding me. A crossword puzzle? Seriously?
But it's important, Sheriff!
Fine, I'm coming. Well, now what are you 3 youngsters doing here on such a nice summer afternoon? Oh, you should be outside, having fun.
Sir, we're counselors from Camp Evergreen, and somebody made a threat to kill counselors at our camp.
That is what we're doing here on a nice summer afternoon.
Well, I see. Well, that's pretty serious. And how did they make the threat?
With this book.
A book? Well, you can't hurt anybody with a book.
Want me to chuck it at your head and see if you change your mind?
You know she's right, Sheriff. Words can really hurt. I mean, just the other day, a book fell on my head, and let me tell you, I'm still feeling it.
Would you please just look inside the book already?
All right. No need to get snippy, young man. Well, now what do we have here?
Newspaper clippings about other summer camps where counselors were murdered.
Jeez, that's pretty morbid stuff.
You don't say.
And who found this book?
The three of us did. At this old shack in the woods at camp.
Oh man, that's creepy.
If you think that's creepy, look at the back page of the book.
Coming soon, 3 counselors murdered at Camp Evergreen. Oh geez, that makes my skin crawl.
Oh, get it together, Bobby.
Sorry, Sheriff.
Well, what do you guys think?
About?
About the book, obviously.
It's clearly a threat on our lives.
Well, have you spoken with your camp director about this?
We have, yes.
And what did she have to say about it?
She thinks it's just a morbid prank.
I don't know. It feels a bit more serious than that.
All right, let me be quite frank with you kids. Now, I'm inclined to agree with your camp director.
What?
Are you serious?
You can't be serious.
Well, the book is certainly concerning, but it's not enough to be considered a credible threat.
But whoever made this is obviously trying to threaten them, right, Sheriff?
Well, have you 3 found anything other than this book? Dead, mutilated animals, destroyed personal possessions, or messages that are actually in places where people are likely to be?
No, but are you seriously saying that it's not a threat until this person's been in our cabins? Or destroyed our stuff? Or killed innocent animals?
Look, the fact of the matter is you found this book out in the woods where people aren't likely to be. Chances are you weren't meant to find this, so it wasn't left as a threat to anyone.
Sheriff, with all due respect, it's still a threat, even if nobody was meant to find it.
Well, your camp director doesn't see it that way. And frankly, I won't be taking any action on this until she wants us to be involved. That camp is private property, and we don't have authority to go barging in without her permission.
So your hands are tied with red tape. I'm so surprised.
Look, for all I know, these newspaper articles are fake, and somebody made this scrapbook for a story they're writing. And I'm not risking legal action from the camp based on this book that may very well be phony.
So there's really nothing we can do for them?
Well, you can write a report with their statement, Bobby. And here, you 3 can have my business card, too.
Gee, thanks.
Look, if something serious happens, you can always give us a call. But until then, I'd tell you this is what your camp director says. It's a morbid prank.
Until we end up dead.
I certainly hope it doesn't come to that, Miss Jones.
Like your hope helps us at all.
Come on, guys. Let's go.
You 2 go ahead. I'd like to have a word with Sheriff Garris here.
Sure. We'll be out by the car.
You listen here, Sheriff. Maybe you don't take death threats seriously, but...
Miss Moraine, I assure you the Blairstown Police Department takes threats of violence very seriously.
Oh, bullshit. If you really did, then you'd be doing something about this, instead of sitting on your ass doing goddamn crossword puzzles.
Well, sounds like Jess is giving him an earful.
Good. He deserves it. I seriously can't believe that Mrs. Holt and the sheriff aren't taking this seriously. I mean, what if something bad happens to us?
If they aren't going to protect us, then we'll just have to protect ourselves.
But how do we do that?
Well, for starters, not going anywhere alone. If we travel in groups, then we're less of a target.
But what about at night? We all sleep in separate cabins.
Then the 3 of us will have a sleepover every night. So don't worry, Mari. We'll take care of each other.
Thanks, Ben.
Sure thing.
Ugh. I loathe that man.
Have any luck, Jess?
Not even. Just more bureaucratic bullshit. God, I can't stand small town cops. It's like nothing's urgent if their town's population is under 6,000 people. Like, what the hell else do they have to do? Stop people from getting drunk and riding their damn horse through town?
I'd pay to see that, actually. So, what now?
Well, since Camp Director Moron and Sheriff Red Tape won't listen, guess we're stuck for now.
This really sucks.
Oh good, you 3 are still here.
Officer Anderson, did you need something?
Listen, I can't do anything to directly help you guys without the sheriff's say-so, and I'm really sorry about that. I think you're right that this isn't a prank.
Well, it's great that you agree with us and all, but that doesn't really help us.
I know, but I wanted to tell you to keep trying to get them to listen. Sheriff Garris says he doesn't think these articles are real, right?
Right.
Well, maybe your camp director thinks the same thing. So if you could prove to her that the articles are real, then maybe she'll believe you about the threat, too.
But how do we prove that?
Good old-fashioned detective work. You take that scrapbook down to the library and get on the internet. Do some research and see what you can dig up to show her.
That's a good idea.
We'll do that then.
In the meantime, I'll be sure to add Evergreen to my nightly patrol route, alright? I'd give you my business card too, but, I'm pretty new here, so I don't have them yet. But you can call the station if anything weird happens, and I'll be sure to come check on you guys.
Thank you. That means a lot.
Oh, no need to thank me, ma'am. It's my job to serve and protect. Now, if you'll excuse me, I've got to get your statement written down in that report.
Thanks, Officer Anderson.
Huh. Well, would you look at that? One of them's not completely useless after all.
Thankfully for us.
Do you guys want to go to the library now?
Oh, sure. We're already here, so might as well, right?
It certainly can't hurt to come back to Mrs. Holt with more evidence.
Exactly. So let's do as much research as we can.
Did you guys find anything?
Not yet.
Are you even looking, Jess?
Duh. Obviously.
Uh-huh. Then why are you looking in the library catalog?
Because in the middle of researching, I'm also looking to see if they have any books I want to borrow. In case you hadn't noticed, the internet at camp is shit, which means I can't check my social media. And cell reception is also shit, so it's hit or miss whether I can even call people. So I need something to do with all this free time.
So helpful, Jess. What about you, Mari? Any luck?
Yeah, I think so.
Can I see?
Of course. Come here. I looked up this newspaper clipping in the book about Camp Springwater. The clipping doesn't have the name of the newspaper that published it, but I found an article that has a similar title. Looks like it was published by a small newspaper in New Jersey.
What does it say?
You can read it yourself, you know. You're sitting right next to her.
Yes, but I'd prefer if she reads it instead. Very ASMR, you know?
Oh, Jess. Would you mind reading it for us, Mari?
Sure. Last night, 3 counselors at Camp Springwater were discovered brutally murdered in their tents. They were participating in a counselor campout when the murders occurred. The victims are Alice King, 23, of Oyster Bay, New York, Rachel Anderson, 21, of Hope, New Jersey, and Christine Kimmel, 19, of Texarkana, Arkansas. Police say that despite clues found at the scene, they currently do not have any suspects. Anyone with information is urged to come forward. Next of kin for the victims have been notified and funeral services are scheduled. Due to this tragic incident, Camp Springwater is closed for the summer.
God. That's horrible. Those poor women.
Rachel Anderson, huh? Any relation to Officer Robert Anderson, you think?
I doubt it. Anderson is a common last name. Besides, we're not anywhere near New Jersey, so it's probably just a coincidence.
This is a good find, Mari. This article is proof that one of the newspaper clippings in the book is real. So that's something Mrs. Holt can't ignore.
True. Hey, Mari. Would you click on this article?
This one? Horror at Camp Springwater?
Yeah, that one.
What a great choice, Jess. I'm sure there's nothing traumatizing in that.
Oh, be quiet, Ben. I'm researching, just like you wanted.
What are you looking for?
Ah, that. Right there. When Camp Springwater staff were questioned, it was revealed that a few days before the murders occurred, a counselor's cabin had been ransacked, and a note was left behind that said, "Soon 3 counselors will die." The camp director considered the note to be a prank and took no action as a result.
What is it with camp directors who don't take this shit seriously?
I know, right? Imagine being that stupid. God, I would never.
I'm printing these articles out. Mrs. Holt can't dismiss us if we show this to her. This case is a mirror of what's happening at our camp.
Right. At the very least, the fact that the camp director at Springwater dismissed the threatening note as a prank should give her pause.
Either way, we still need to tell the others. They have a right to know so they can protect themselves.
Oh, yeah, totally. Matt annoys the shit out of me, but I don't want him dead. Probably. Maybe.
Uh-huh. Oh, hey, Jess. I suggested to Mari earlier that the three of us travel in a group when we're at camp. And at night, we bunk in the same cabin, so we aren't alone.
Smart plan, Benny boy. You just have to make sure Mrs. Holt doesn't catch you with us. She'll blow a gasket about a boy spending the night with girls.
Like, I care. If it makes us feel more comfortable to stay together, then she needs to deal with it. Besides, we're all adults, so we don't need her permission to do what we want.
Ah, a man after my own heart. If I was into guys, I would totally kiss you for that one.
Thanks, Jess. Such high praise.
Of course. Only the best for you, Benny boy. But you know, since I'm not into guys, kiss him for me, would you, Mari?
Oh, what?
Quit screwing around, Jess. We've got to finish up here and get back to camp. It's getting late, you know.
Fine, fine. Ruin my fun, why don't you?
Have everything you need, Mari?
I think so. Did you find anything that you need to print?
Nah, I didn't have as much luck as you. But we can always come back here another day and do more research.
True. Which is good for me, since I didn't find any interesting books.
You could ask the librarian for help next time.
Or you could help me. I bet you know your way around a library, right?
I guess. I use it a lot at my college.
Oh, good. You can totally help me find what I'm looking for then. Something in the romance section, perhaps?
Smooth, Jess.
I mean, I don't really read romance novels, but I'm sure I could help you find something.
See, Ben, isn't she the sweetest?
No argument here.
Well, there you have it, Mari. Ben and I both like you.
Oh, well, good. I like you both, too. And I really appreciate that you guys both agreed with me about the scrapbook. It means a lot to have you both in my corner.
Of course. We both think you're right, Mari, so we'll absolutely back you up.
And we'll convince everyone else about it, too. Because we're a team.
Thank you, guys. I guess we should head back to camp now, right?
Yeah, totally. We've got a shit ton to do tonight. So, lead the way, Mari.
Could you be any more obvious, Jess?
I mean, yeah. And I'll probably need to be, since she's clearly not getting it.
Yeah. Speaking of, I don't need your help, right?
And make your move already, Benny boy. I know you like her.
And I know you like her too, Jess.
Duh, obviously. I don't flirt this much just for fun.
But honestly, now isn't a great time to tell her how we feel, all things considered.
Look, there's never a perfect time to tell someone you like them. You've just gotta go for it and let things play out how they will.
Just go for it, huh? I'll think about it.
I'm glad to hear it.
What are you guys talking about back there?
Oh, nothing.
Nothing you need to worry about, anyway.
Oh, okay. Do you guys really think Mrs. Holt will listen to us this time?
If she doesn't, then we'll take care of ourselves. So don't worry, all right?
Totally. We've got each other's backs. So we'll be okay.
Right. We're fine. Everything will be fine.
You've been listening to A Long Night at Camp Evergreen, a horror audio drama. Our voice cast includes Maddi Albregts as Mari, Kelly McLeod as Ben, Holly Sophia as Jess, Vera Tan as Cami, Melissa J. Lackie as the camp director, Ray O'Hare as Sheriff Garris, and Braden Worton as Officer Anderson.
Art design was done by Leah Amory 17. End credits music is Song of Shrieking Wind by Piano Geist. And finally, our project director, casting director, series writer, and audio engineer is Holly Sophia. Thank you for listening. Our story continues in part 3, soon to follow.